Welcome to Monday's Co-Mindfulness meditation. Co-mindfulness is the practice of bringing our compassion and attention to other people. This is a term we came up with to describe the art of being mindful while interacting with people in your life, from strangers on the street to our spouses, children, and even our coworkers. Co-mindfulness recognizes that we are, by our very nature, social beings deeply dependent on each other for our well-being and happiness. As numerous studies have shown, the more we give to others, the more joyful and confident we become. We believe our capacity to give and extend compassion to others, which is at the core of co-mindfulness, is the secret to our individual health and emotional well-being, as well as the health and well-being of others. We're thrilled that you are part of our co-mindfulness community. Please share this meditation with others in your life so that this community continues to grow.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Trisha. So happy to be with everyone tonight. Tonight's meditation is called Pulling Back the Curtain, and it's a meditation by Joseph Goldstein, who's a wonderful teacher. And so, the importance of understanding the difference between being lost in a thought and being aware of a thought is illustrated very clearly in the popular culture in the film The Wizard of Oz. When we're unaware that we're thinking, thoughts have so much power. We're lost in the story of our thoughts. And yet, when we're aware of a thought, we see that thought itself is empty of substance, much like Dorothy and Toto in front of the wizard. The wizard seems to have so much power with a booming voice, and yet when Toto pulls the curtain aside, we find it's just a little man pulling different levers to create the appearance of power. And so we can apply this same image as we are watching our own minds. Notice those times when we've been lost in a thought and how involved we can become, how caught up in emotion, how lost in a thought, and how much they can direct our lives. And yet, when we pull the curtain aside, when we recognize that we're thinking, when we see a thought for what it is, we realize that the thought itself has no power at all. The only power thoughts have is the power we give them. Awareness, mindfulness of thinking gives us the great ability to discern which thoughts are helpful and which are not, which we should act on, and which thoughts we can let go of. So tonight's meditation is about pulling back the curtain. And we'll begin the meditation with a ring of the chime, and we'll end the meditation with a ring of the chime. So, as we begin this meditation, this sitting, make sure you're sitting comfortably in a dignified posture, meaning your back straight, but so that you can breathe fully and deeply, but not so straight that you are uncomfortable. You can gently close your eyes, have your hands in your lap, and begin to settle into your body, feeling the body in the sitting posture. And just simply sit and know that you're sitting. As you're aware of yourself sitting, you might also begin to know that the body is breathing. Breathing in, just know you're breathing in. And as you're breathing out, just know that you're breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. At different times, you may hear different sounds. Simply rest in the openness and be aware of how all sounds appear and disappear. And when the sound is no longer predominant, again return to the awareness of the body, just sitting and knowing you're sitting. And of course, as you're breathing in, just know you're breathing in. And as you're breathing out, just know you're breathing out. You might also become aware of different bodily sensations that become predominant and call your attention. Open to the experience of that sensation and notice what happens to that sensation as you become aware of it. Does it become stronger or does it become weaker? Does it disappear? Does it seem to shift position? And then, when they're no longer predominant, we turn again to the simple instruction: sit and know you're sitting. And breathing in, just know you're breathing in. And as you're breathing out, know you're breathing out. When thoughts arise in the mind, as soon as you become aware that you're thinking, make a soft mental note of thinking and notice what happens to that thought. When they are no longer predominant, we return again to the simple instruction: sit and know you're sitting. You might become aware of emotions or states of mind. Whenever you become aware of a particular mood, emotion, or mind state, make that very experience the object of your meditation. Becoming mindful of that particular mood or emotion so that we're actually investigating the nature of our experience. Then notice what happens to that emotion or mind state as you're mindful of it. Slowly, we begin to understand the impermanent nature of all the different states of mind that arise. As we're mindful in this way, every aspect of our experience is included in the meditation practice. With all these different objects of meditation, whether the breath or different sensations, thoughts, or emotions, It's very helpful to intermittently check the attitude in the mind regarding these different experiences. We can check the attitude in our mind by simply asking that question: what is the attitude right now? And often, the very asking of the question will reveal if the mind is reactive in some way, is liking, is disliking, is judging, or is simply being mindful of whatever the experience may be. In meditation, it's important to realize we're not practicing in order to stop thinking, but rather to become aware of thought when it arises in the mind. As we practice being mindful of thinking, being aware of thought when it appears, we begin to see and experience very clearly the difference between being lost in thought and being aware of a thought. One way of highlighting the difference of being lost and being aware of a thought is to pay particular attention of that moment when we come out from being lost and we become aware that we've been thinking. Just in the moment of transition, we can see very clearly the difference. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and reconnect with the world around you. And I'd like to end tonight's meditation with a poem called Kindness by Naomi Shihab Nye. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment like salt in a weakened broth. What you held in your hand, what you counted and carefully saved, all this must go, so you know how desolate the landscape can be between the regions of kindness. How you ride and ride, thinking the bus will never stop. The passengers eating maize and chicken will stare out the window forever. Before you learn the tender gravity of kindness, you must travel where the Indian in a white poncho lies dead by the side of the road. You must see how this could be you, how he too was someone who journeyed through the night with plans and the simple breath that kept him alive. Before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak to it till your voice catches the thread of all sorrows and you see the size of a cloth. Then it is only kindness that makes sense anymore. Only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day to mail letters and purchase bread. Only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, "It is I you have been looking for," and then goes with you everywhere, like a shadow or a friend. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you for joining us, and we hope this meditation brings you peace and calm during this turbulent time.